Hi everyone, my name's Rhiannon and I'm one of the vice chairs of Garnethill Community Council, and we decided we knew we wanted to give an update to the community on what's been going on recently, but because we can't have normal meetings, we thought it would be nice to give you a face to hear news from. So you've got me. We've had a lot of communication from people in the community about recent events, mostly about the antisocial behaviour that's been occurring in recent weeks, and concerns about, especially in Renfrew Street with the hotels there. So we just wanted to give you an update on what the Community Council's been doing to deal with that problem and with the concerns we've had from the residents. Bill at Garnethill Neighbourhood Watch had contacted us and gave us an update of the meeting that they had. Unfortunately, we weren't at that meeting because we weren't invited, but we have had an update of what happened at the meeting, and he also sent us a link to the article that was in the Glasgow Times about the concerns of the residents. The first thing that I need to say is we've been trying to get confirmation of the exact situation, and it's proven a bit impossible at the moment. We've got no official communication which says that it's definitely homeless people that have been rehoused there. That said, I think most of us have come to that conclusion, and that's what we're going to work on in lieu of any other information that we get. So we're still in regular contact with our community officers at Police Scotland. Although Robert's working from home, he's still working, and we do have other contacts with Police Scotland who also provide support to him on the ground. So what they had come back when we contacted them asking if we could have some more information about whether there was any increase in crime levels in that area. We got an email back from one of PC Hill's colleagues saying that they can't provide crime figures anymore, unfortunately, and that's been the case for a few months now. But what they can do is provide information related to create crime trends, and they can also tell us what they're doing about it. So the email that we had confirmed that there has been an increase in antisocial behaviour in Garnethill in recent weeks, and what they're doing is they're increasing patrols in the area. They're using colleagues from the city centre to help with that, and they're basically that's what they're doing. As always, they say they'd love to do more, but unfortunately covering such a wide patch, and because we are part of the city centre, sometimes they get taken away to other things. So what we're saying is keep an eye out if you see if to you there is an increase in police presence. I know when I went to the shops yesterday, I did see 2 police officers on foot, and I saw a squad car doing a patrol, and they'd moved people on from in front of the Oxford fish and chip shop. They were there when I went down to Tesco, but by the time I came back there was 2 police cars there and they'd been dispersed. So if everybody can keep an eye out and see if you feel that the police presence has increased, and if it has, let us know if you feel that that's made any difference to the behaviour, because obviously we can then take that back to Police Scotland and ask them for more, or just let them know that what they're doing is working and to keep on with it. They've also advised us, obviously a lot of people are really concerned and have had some really unpleasant experiences with people on the streets. Again, they're reiterating, if you see anything that is antisocial, and that includes congregating and breaking social distancing and lockdown rules, dial 101 and report it, and they will send somebody round. Even if it doesn't seem very much, it's worth reporting, because it means that it feeds back into their figures and gives a better picture of what's going on. Obviously, it goes without saying, in the event of emergency, if your safety is immediately threatened, dial 999, because what we don't want is anybody getting themselves into trouble. What I would say is we're concerned about people approaching folks and themselves. And I think there's been advice or asking to photograph people or take videos of people. Unless you can do that safely, it's not a good idea. And even then, there's obviously laws enforced, GDPR and things, that could get you into trouble with that. So just be extra cautious if that's something that you decide that you're going to do. And it might be better to report it to the police first and then take advice from them on the best course of action. Okay, so that's the feedback we've had from Police Scotland, and it's an ongoing issue, and we're going to keep following that up. The other thing that we've done with regard to Renfrew Street is we've contacted Glasgow City Health and Social Care Partnership. Now that's a partnership between Glasgow City Council and NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde, and they are the ones responsible for rehoming homeless people. So what we thought we'd do is we've already contacted them to ask if we can have a contact. It might not be something that they can do. Because of the nature of the service, they have to protect clients' information. And so I think you probably saw it in the Evening Times or the Glasgow Times article. We've had a similar thing in the past, that they won't reveal exact locations. The way that we are wording it to them is because the Community Council is a statutory body of local government, we're asking that to try and improve community integration, that it might be better in the long run that if they can work with us, and that way we should hopefully have a way to feed back any concerns from the long-term residents of Garnethill back to the partnership, and then from that we can try and work towards dealing with any ongoing issues that are coming out of those hotels on Renfrew Street. Again, assuming that that's who's housed people there, and we don't have official confirmation yet that that is the case. We've also been in contact obviously with our local councillors. That's been ongoing anyway, even with the lockdown. Unfortunately, because the council are operating on such a limited staff at the moment, anybody that's deemed not essential has either been sent home to self-isolate or has been redeployed into other more essential services. So council officers aren't as easily contactable as they would normally be, but the local councillors are still doing the best they can and are still trying to get us information. But again, they reiterate, when it comes to antisocial behaviour, the responsibility for dealing with that lies squarely with Police Scotland. So again, they've given the same advice. If you witness antisocial behaviour, please contact Police Scotland for them to deal with it. So that's where we are in terms of dealing with that particular issue. We've had some concerns that people's mental health is obviously a big issue at the moment anyway, with everybody being stuck at home. Some people on their own. There's a lot of people in Garnethill who live on their own, or maybe women living on their own. That's me. But there's also a lot of elderly people who live on their own as well, and we're concerned not only that they feel threatened by the behaviour, but they also feel threatened by talk of the behaviour, and people are starting to feel scared to go out, when it might not necessarily be the case that when they need to go out they're going to encounter anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to share in the comments of this video a link to a couple of mental health organisations which provide support online and at the end of a phone. So if anybody's concerned about anything to do with coronavirus or just being stuck in the house in general, hopefully you'll be able to find some information there that will be able to help you work through that. As a community, it's really important that we all pull together right now. We need to look out for each other, and we need to try and keep each other safe. And if that means listening out the window, if you hear somebody shouting, then by all means, look out and make sure that there's nothing untoward going on and that everybody's okay. It's a concern that, with the streets being so much quieter, and it's something that's happening all over Glasgow, that there has been this increase in antisocial behaviour, purely because the streets aren't as busy as they would be, and unfortunately people who are maybe not so well behaved are taking the opportunity to cause trouble. So just be aware of that and look out for each other. We're all in this together. I know we keep saying it, but we are all in this together. Just a couple of other issues that we're dealing with. Obviously, coronavirus is dominating the headlines at the moment, but that doesn't mean to say that other stuff goes away. One thing that we've had on our agenda for probably a year now is the bin issue and the rat problem. Now, information on those two things seems to have dried up through the normal channels in recent the last month, in recent weeks, so we're not sure whether that's because it's not a problem or whether things have changed. We'd be especially interested in hearing about the rat issue, because one of the main things that's changed is a lot of the restaurants and pubs and food businesses are not open at the moment, which means their waste isn't going out. So it would be useful if people can be aware of looking out for rats, and see if that still is an issue, if you still see any evidence of them, because it might be useful to feedback once this is all over. If we see an increase in it again, then it might be that it's the restaurants and the way they're disposing of their food. So it's not a definite thing, but it would be useful to know whether that's a problem that's gone away or if it's a problem that people just aren't noticing because of everything else that's going on. And also the bin collections. I know personally, I'm on Cambridge Street. My bin collection has continued with very little interruption, to the extent that at 9:30 on Easter Sunday my bins got emptied, which was great for me, probably not so great for the bin operatives that were working at that time on Easter Sunday, but they're getting the job done. So just let us know if you have any issues like that. I know they've stopped collecting brown bins, are focusing on recycling and general waste bins at the moment, because that's the two main ones. So if anybody's got any issues, obviously contact us. The email address is garnethill.cc@gmail.com, or you can contact us on the Facebook page or on Twitter, where this video will also be shared. I think that's about it for this update. If anything else occurs to any of you, please put a comment down below and let us know what's on your mind, and keep in touch with us. Let us know whether the police presence is helping, whether you feel it's increased, and by all means, keep us up to date with anything else that you feel that needs to be addressed. Just remember, we are looking out for you, we are looking out for each other. Everybody in Garnethill needs to kind of rally round a bit and give a general hug to the community to keep us going. So hopefully I will see you all soon, and take care, stay safe and stay home.